My little morning.
Good morning.
It's Friday, it's the 10th of May, and it's a lovely day again outside. Chilly start, but that's okay because it's going to warm up later on. Generally dry all across the county today. Might be little spots of mist or drizzle in some places into the afternoon where there's a bit of cloud cover, but generally there'll be a lot of sun today, which is good. And I think the weekend is looking good as well. So for those people who've got a busy weekend with First Holy Communions, it should be a good weekend actually, alright. So what's the plan, by the way? Did you sort the cake or what's the story?
Yeah, cake sorted.
Cake sorted. So that's pretty much it. So get up and get ready and do it. So
yeah, I went into Garvey's and ordered the cake.
Nice one.
Yeah, so it's all sorted to be collected tomorrow. Don't forget to collect the cake.
I was just going to say, in all of the madness that'll be going on tomorrow.
Yeah.
At some point in the day, you were like, oh shit.
I know.
You'll be fine.
I met someone last night, morning, Trish, and she said to me, "Good luck with the barbecue now Saturday."
Oh yeah, there's awful rumours going on with the barbecue.
She was taking the mic. She burst out laughing anyways. If say, imagine you. Yeah, Tom, if you missed it, Tom, one of our listeners, texted in the other day to say, I said we were going out for lunch. We're going to the Rose.
Yeah.
And he said he was very disappointed to hear that I wasn't hosting a barbecue. Like, very.
Yeah, do you know what?
I have no idea why that disappointed you, Tom, but...
It's funny though, I wonder, jokingly, did you say at some point over the last few months in preparation for the communion that, oh yeah, we're going to have a barbecue?
Oh, I never do that.
No, but I wondered did you say taking the mick? Or being sarcastic maybe?
Because
well,
you
never do
barbecues,
that.
but like,
anyway,
no. For me and two other people, I like barbecues. That's it. Anyway,
I like going to barbecues.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Well, you keep telling me you're going to invite me to a barbecue, and you haven't. That's come up a few times now. I'll have you over for a barbecue. The Times Ireland edition front page today. Some of the big stories. Well, Will Smith is pictured. He was at the European Gala screening of Aladdin last night, which happened at Leicester Square in central London. I know you shared the trailer a while ago, but I finally saw it on the big screen.
Oh, cool!
Later. Yeah. So, what are your feelings on it?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of people saying, "Oh no, what are they remaking that for?" I thought it looked pretty good in the cinema now, the trailer. Yeah. So there he is in a very strange suit, but anyway, each to their own. Micheál Martin weighing in on the national broadband plan now. He's saying he would completely abandon the entire plan and introduce high-speed internet to rural areas through the ESB instead, says Micheál Martin. And bumper tax take comes from only 100 firms. There's another story in the front page of the Times Ireland edition. Further doubts have arisen over the sustainability of Ireland's corporate tax rate. Figures are now showing that it's just a handful of companies that are responsible for the surge in receipts last year.
The Irish Independent this morning says Campo Minister is branded ineffectual as firms threatened by rising insurance costs. The Minister responsible for insurance reform has been described as completely ineffectual by the Irish Small and Medium Enterprises Association. And property prices hit ceiling as loan limits cool market. Second quarter of prices declines seen in Dublin, and prices still rise but less quickly in regional areas, according to the front page of the Irish Independent there this morning as well.
Irish Examiner front page, some of the big stories there. A Tusla worker who was caught with child pornography images on their computer is trying to claim that they were part of research for work. That's the biggest story in the Irish Examiner today. So the employee was caught with thousands of images of child pornography images, claiming to Gardaí he downloaded them in an effort to figure out paedophiles and sex offenders as part of his work. Good look at that, I'd say. And also in the Examiner, Dáil committee hears why 89% of disqualified drivers continue to drive on the roads. Garda Commissioner Drew Harris and other senior officials, they've been accused of putting road users' lives at risk after it emerged that they're failing to stop 9 out of every 10 disqualified drivers from continuing to drive on our roads. And that's another story in today's Examiner.
Yeah, there was a story last week. I'm not sure what part of the country it was in. It was in one of the papers last week of some guy who was... stopped for speeding by the guards, and it turns out that he'd no insurance, he'd no licence, he was disqualified from driving.
Yeah.
And it was his third time being caught for driving when he was disqualified this year. What are you doing there, you know?
When you're finished looking at the papers, I have a little car story to tell you.
Okay.
Just remember it. Yeah.
The Mirror then this morning, quite an awful story again. Anna Cretan murder trial here the teen suffered an horrific death. Again, more injuries were brought up yesterday as to what happened to her.
I don't know why I listened to that.
Yeah, it's awful, yeah. Very sad.
Horrified.
And another sad story, actually. Tributes pour in for Meath cyclist Sean Lynch, who passed away in hospital after a crash during a race in Wexford yesterday. So at around or at around 20 to 2 in the afternoon on Sunday, the crash happened, and then around 11 o'clock yesterday morning, he sadly passed away. He was only 34, lads, very sad. So that's sad. In the Mirror there as well this morning. Go on, what's the car story?
Crashed into a parked vehicle, I think, that chap.
That day, yeah, it's awful, very sad.
So, yesterday, parked my car in town, went back to my car, had a ticket. So I was like, crap. So I thought it was a parking ticket. I had put a disc up, but I thought, oh no, was I out of date or something? So I picked up the notice, and it turns out it was for my tax being out of date.
Yes,
right?
okay, I've got
so,
this.
So fair enough, grand. Turned out my tax was out of date. I didn't know it was. I was like, what the hell? Came back in here to my computer because I just said to myself, I always do my tax. I was like, why would I not have done my tax? So came back in here, and I was like, I haven't got a renewal notice in ages. It just dawned on me. Scoured my computer, nothing. They've sent me no renewal notice since last August, and no post renewal notice.
That's strange.
So it's like I've been completely struck off the motor tax system.
Oh no, I know what
GDPR.
Happens.
No, someone said that to me, but I didn't sign out.
No.
What?
You're excused from tax.
Stop. I thought you had a genuine answer there. But yeah, so I seem to have been my name seems to have disappeared. I'm wondering if it's happened to anybody else.
Yeah, let us know.
Because I do depend on it entirely.
Yeah, that reminder. Yeah, that reminder is.
Well, I mean, you either get it in the post or you either get it in the email, and otherwise, I honestly don't go around looking at my discs. Discs. But yeah, so I depended. So I sent an email to Kerry County Council querying the fact that I wasn't on motortax.ie anymore. So it was just last night. They haven't got back to me or anything. But like, obviously, zero issue with the fact that my tax was out of date. It was. So now I paid my arrears. I paid my tax for the next few months, whatever. But just very strange that I'm on. Someone said to me it might be a GDPR issue, but I didn't opt out of anything.
No, I don't think that.
I think it's a bit of a glitch.
I don't think GDPR constitutes in that case because you need to get your motor tax.
Because also when you get your renewal notice, you get a PIN that you need to renew your tax. So I think I've got good grounds.
Something similar happened to me before. My amazing fiance, my tax disc arrived. I said, "Will you stick that in the car?" She goes, "I will." Yeah. So she stuck it in, and then I got a ticket for my tax being out of date, just like you did outside down the road there. And it turns out she'd put the tax disc in behind the old one. Anyway, so yeah, my fault.
You've no comeback with that.
No comeback. Sure, technically they were right. The tax was incorrect on the car. So
yeah. Okay, we're ready to go live here in Radio Kerry. We've loads to do on the show today. We've got that lovely hamper, thanks to Out of Skull Black Pudding Company, to give away on the show today, and we're up to 490. Class. So when do we make the 500 on Monday? We might. 490 on Who's for Breakfast. We'll play that as well.
Morning. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Good luck.